Why, hello. It's been a while. I recently went on a trip. That trip went a while, took a while. It was a week-long trip. But luckily, there was a plane ride, a long plane ride, so I got a bunch of new movies down, and it's time to talk about all four of them. Granted, yes, there'll be separate videos, because why the hell wouldn't there be? But let's start with the first movie I saw, which is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, a film that was recommended to me by some of my movie buddies, that I decided to finally check out, and I was not disappointed with what I saw. It was a very fun coming-of-age story. It does not relate to me very well, as I do not relate to the situation or the characters, but that doesn't mean I won't potentially need it in the future if I have daughters. Like, this is a movie that I will definitely be showing my kids if or when I have them. So let's get to it. The story is, like I said, a coming-of-age story. Margaret has moved, and she's trying to find out who she is in the world, and there's all those typical coming-of-age, like, quirks, like, oh, the first friend you made ends up being a complete and total jerk. Oh, I've been actually the bully and not the bullied. It's a very interesting story, and it's very fun to see with this cast, and I must give it a hand grenade score for that. It's a pretty good take on the coming of age story. Next up is, of course, as usual, the cinematics. The cinematics are it's a pretty well shot movie. There's not really much going on, but it's never boring, so that's always good. So let's give it a Hot Pocket score here, because as is usually the case, I judge a movie based on the cinematics in my experience more than I judge it on everything else. And so next up will be the directing. The directing was pretty solid. I really enjoyed the direction and the pacing of how it was kept. Very solid outing. And now I'll give it a Hot Pocket score just because there's been some movies that just the directing made the whole thing, like Oppenheimer and stuff. So now let's talk about the acting, the actors and actresses in the film. The part that I really do want to talk about, where it's been a while since I've seen this, but one thing that I do remember very vividly and clearly is Rachel McAdams in this film is a low-key, could fight her way in for an Oscar nom. I really enjoyed her performance, and it really did make the whole experience that much better. It was a much better film because of Rachel McAdams, in my personal opinion. I don't know if you agree. If you don't agree, leave it down in the comments below, and we'll get along with it. We'll chat. But acting, just due to that solid Rachel McAdams performance, I will give it a hand grenade score. Next up is my expectations and experience. My experience will always be pretty bad, so I'm not going to really heavily favor the experience since it was on an airplane. But my expectations, this really did surprise me. It was much more charming than I expected. I won't give it too high of a score, as I'm not planning on rewatching this very often, but I will be watching it with people who will need to watch it, as I find it to be a very well-told, well-crafted story that will really teach people some life lessons. So I will give it a Hot Pocket score for my expectations and experience, just because it's not a movie that I will be rewatching every year like John Wick or Guardians 3, or Across the Spider-Verse even. But it is a very solid movie, and it's very good at what it does. And that's all that really matters sometimes. It sends its message without beating you over the head with it. So, in conclusion, this is a certified Hot Pocket movie. Definitely worth checking out every once in a while and keeping it in stock. But other than that, I'm sorry for my vanishing over this last 3 weeks. But if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, I'll leave you guys to it.